Yo, yo. What is going on? Happy Wednesday, folks. We're going to get started with our stream in a sec. I'm just getting the regular tunes on. Should be a good volume, but if it's like too loud, you can let me know in chat. We'll take a look at the charts in a minute. We'll let people stroll in. I just did a post. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday.
Cyanide 1995. Dub Techno Selection.
Yeah. Threw on a dub techno mix, so I guess that was part of it, but yeah, we're just chilling. And Tesla earnings were quite interesting. We'll take a look at Tesla later. BTC and ETH got a nice little pop, but looking like it might SFP on the daily, which you never know, but to be honest, you gotta wait and see how the follow-through price action is. So let's take a look and dive into the charts. I can see falls on chat, but when I look at YouTube Studio, like where people type in the chat, I can't see it. But if I look at Streamlabs, like it pops up on the actual stream and on the video, so I'll make do with that. So yeah, let me just turn this down just a tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So BTC we looked at last week. We'll look at it again. We'll look at it next week. Simply the chosen one for crypto. But right now, what has my attention is the fact that we are on this daily breaker and we're holding it as support. So what I would like to see potentially tomorrow, I mean honestly, we'll dive into the low time frame PA. I think it looks good. But I think I might be looking to take like a swing long, potentially, just maybe buy some spot or super low leverage, just set it, forget it, see what happens in a couple weeks. I do have my long-term DCA bags that I've been doing, but I am getting interested with the way the price action is developing here. Yo, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. But yeah, as I mentioned, we are holding this breaker pretty well, if I might say so. And we have this high time frame cipher harmonic that we looked at last week on stream. So now what I would like to see, I mean, 4 hour in H12 is not maybe painting the prettiest picture. I know Fallis has done a beautiful post or two talking about a potential PO3 here. We might be getting it in the other direction though. But I think looking for any sort of accumulation down inside this breaker would be pretty nice. Obviously, if we fall below it, there's some other levels that are still interesting. Really, as long as you don't fall below... I mean, daily, arguably, you could say trend shifts if you get a close below 22.3. But I think high time frame wise, the key level here would be like 20K. That would be like your line in the sand mostly, because this is a lot of just straight up, straight down price action. And what I want to see in the coming days, like this week into next week, is simply just a follow through of buyers stepping in and pushing price up, and we really start just ripping. I know some people I've seen a few posts on Twitter about this big sort of trend line. I don't know if, let me get rid of this for now. So if you go from like the high from before, it might not even be on, it might be on the log chart. Oh god. Yeah, no, this looks a lot better for that. Yeah, I think it was something like that. So we just technically like broke it. If you're a trend line trader, this is your thing. I really don't use diagonal trend lines, but you did technically break it on the log scale. And I think the next target you'd have is 25,335-ish. I think the actual high was like 25.2 it's showing on here. Yeah. So 25.2 level to watch in the coming weeks for short-term interest. What do you think about the CMA gap around 27, 28K? I don't really look at the CMA chart too much. I think there was actually a really interesting thread I think Fall shared in Chroma last week about CMA chart in terms of like how it just kind of like price being manipulated. So I think, I mean, there's some importance to it, but ultimately I'm more paying attention to this high time frame harmonic. And so far, I did a post about it, I think like here, or maybe it was here. But this is where I want to see it eventually go to. So 28,820 is the level to watch for me. If we get up there, that's where I'd be looking for a high time frame reversal. But again, you'd want confirmation before just jumping straight into a position to get short. I would not blind bid this. I would definitely wait for confirmation if we get up there. Sorry, it's just a little loud. It's a little dubby too. I mean, it's dub techno, but I wanted more like, yeah, much better vibe. All right. We'll take a look at ETH now. So the big thing to pay attention to here is you are going to SFP here in about 10 minutes unless you miraculously pump like $200-300 in the next 10 minutes, which I don't really see happening. You had the Tesla pump with the news, and then since then it's just kind of been falling over. So I want to see it come down, probably range a bit more. Maybe I think tomorrow there's some news, and then Endor next week. Yo, what's good, Subash? Welcome. Glad to see you're watching from India. That's dope. I'm over here in America. But yeah, this is basically, I think anything in this breaker is a good buy area with some confirmation, and you could look to potentially swing it. I think the first target for me would be 25.2, and then I'd just be looking for the PCZ. ETH. I have these on from when I did a post earlier on Twitter. ETH, though, is looking fantastic. Or maybe not as fantastic as you would like, but we are getting to a point now where we're almost in a similar situation to BTC. However, I don't know if it's going to give that same kind of opportunity. So you have that like breaker there. Well, potential breaker right now, it would be like your supply. But what I would love to see is that get flipped, become support, and then again, position myself for a long. From there, I think that would be great. Yo, Asi, apologies if I butcher your name. Asi, I think you pronounce it. What's up? But yeah, flip this breaker again, high time frame wise. Looking for this. If I'm talking like bearish case, what do I not want to, or what what would be the bearish case here, because right now I think it looks like it's setting up for your typical head or shoulder, head, shoulder, and I think it's going to fake out a lot of people who are going to want to get short. So maybe you get a little dip down and then we rip. So anywhere in, I would say, like 1,500 to like 1,450 may be a good buy if you get some low time frame confirmation to trap some shorters. It's been a lot of people just getting very excited over small moves. So just simply trade the levels as we're going to and from. However, my focus lately has been on indices, which we'll dive into later on. But I want to run through all the crypto stuff. We'll take a look at some Forex, and then we'll wrap it up with indices, because that's more like day trading for me. Probably keep it kind of on the shorter side tonight. Looking for like a 45-minute one. But yeah, this would be nice. ETH technically though is a little bit weaker than BTC at the moment. BTC would be the better choice to long. However, I do think that will flip in time, so I would be paying attention to kind of like the low time frame price action you're going to get on both of these, and wait for maybe some SMT to develop at the lows, and just figure out from there which one you want to long. But right now, yeah, ETH looking like a head and shoulders. I'd probably say we're going to chop a little bit tomorrow, then maybe get a move down on Friday. And then from there, maybe weekend scammery. But I really don't think you're going to get any sort of major moves till next week. I think because we also have next week's a new month. So that'll bring some volatility as we close our first month for 2023. So that is what I would be looking out for. We can quick take a look over at Algo. Last week on stream, we were talking about the fact that it was below some key levels. It looked kind of dead. So you can see I have these two ice lines just plotted. It's this low here and this wick high here. And you can see how it's acted as support and resistance for some time in history. We've now revisited those levels, support, support, support. You broke through some chop, and then it turned resistance. It is currently resistance again. We did have a breakthrough on, what was it? Looked like Sunday last weekend. You got a close back above it. And then Tuesday, we came back through. So it's kind of just chopping here. I think just wait to see some resolution in terms of what BTC and ETH wants to do. But ultimately, if it's below 2450, good for shorts in my opinion. If we can get back above and hold, I would be looking for longs up to 28.90 from there. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Kioski. So that's my thoughts on Algo. We can look like low time frame too. I'll check out some alts. They're typically mostly, I just scan them on the high time frames. But if we look at Algo, see if there's any sort of harmonic here. There might be one from here, because you have this. That'd be like almost like a bat. Yeah, I would say it's like a bat. The only thing is you normally would probably want to do from the actual swing high up here, and if I do that, then this would technically have some more room to run, which actually I do kind of like this, because you have this fair value gap right here. So from there, you could look for a short. If we do get a pop back up, that is where I would be just keeping my eye out for potential play. And this is on each one, so this could definitely see some resolution in the next couple day or two. Yeah, probably day or two. So the level I'd be looking for if you trade Algo, 25.65 would probably be the PCZ. But really, once you get to that H4 FEG, that's where I'd be interested, because it's still valid. So 24 or 25.50 is when I'd start keeping your eyes out if you're trading algo. And then you could look for like low time frame confirmation. You could short. And ultimately for me, probably the target would just be 24.50, just a retest of that level. I mean, you can see how well it gets respected. So I think you would definitely get a potential move back down there. Hopping on over to Atom. Atom is a beast. It is the Gartley harmonic we looked at last week on stream. We hit TP1 here. I think right here on the January 23rd. Or wait, no. No, this is January 3rd. Sorry, 2023. 23rd would be like up here somewhere. Next level of interest, since we pretty much almost mitigated that full fair value gap, is I would say 14,786. I think that's where you could see a push up. It looks like it wants to set up for a kind of 3 drives pattern. So I would expect the 3rd drive to top out probably. I'm just like looking to see if there's any sort of imbalance here. This one's filled. You have relatively equal highs right there at 14.654. So I'll mark those out. And we'll revisit all this stuff from last week. I know there was a few other stuff on crypto that we looked at last week that I'm curious to see how did that play out. So yeah, those are equal highs there. But I think ultimately like 14,786 would be your target in terms of continuation. Could take a little bit because that was on the 4-hour chart. But structurally it looks good. It just keeps on pushing up. Definitely, it's up 9% on the day. So comparison to BTC, it's definitely the better coin to long. I just don't know with what BTC just did today if I would be jumping into fresh positions right now. I'd probably wait for the dust to settle a bit. See what, I think tomorrow's GDP for the US. Let me double check that. Tomorrow we have GDP quarter over quarter for US at 8:30. So, and there's also like unemployment claims and some other small stuff. And then Friday is PCE price index month over month. So yeah, Thursday and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time might bring some volatility. But on Atom, that is what I would be looking for, a continuation of trend here. You could arguably maybe even say you have a bit of a range here. It's kind of just trending more so upwards, but I mean the range I would be looking at would be something like that. Maybe even you tighten it up to, yeah. No, that would definitely be more what I'd be looking at, because then you have your 1 tap, your kind of like 2 tap, your deviation. Really it would be like 1 tap over here, deviation, and then it comebacks and retests what looks to be H4 demand block here. So really nice price action on Atom, but we are now leaving the range. Looks like you don't really have much above you, so if you're looking to long an alt, Atom is now up 33% on the new day, the day that just opened 1 minute ago. This would be the coin I would be looking for alts, at least so far from what we scanned, which is not much. Let's quick go back to BTC, see how we finished up today. So BTC did get that SFP of the highs, and we do have those relatively equal lows. So probably some chop, maybe a quick impulse down during news tomorrow, and then you get a strong buyback. That would be a great situation for me to look for longs. ETH on the daily, nothing crazy here. Just kind of coming back, or pushing back up. But yeah, BTC definitely looks really strong. Let's keep going. We got a couple more alts to go through. I'm going to set an alert for this local buy-side liquidity. We'll see if Adam ends up getting some pumps in here. Another harmonic is this. It's a little bit scuffed. Should have gone down more, but BNB is known for getting strong demand. Really, it would have been the 886 right here. And I liked it too because he had that ice line, but obviously demand sucked it up. Because it's really nothing but net below. So this ran well. We hit the first TP pretty quick for the harmonic. Next would be A, which you are pushing up for at about 334. I think like psychologically 333 would be a level where you're going to run into some resistance. So definitely watch out for that. We are technically like sweeping that high. So like they're in a lot of like precarious situations where I can see the argument for bears to be like, hey, like you're starting to show signs of potential like reversal. However, like I'm pretty bullish on crypto at least. And I would say indices too. I kind of have a slightly different bias for ES, but it's more like theory crafting than anything. So I kind of have to throw that out the window a little bit. But yeah, BNB looks good. Maybe not as good as some other alts, but definitely nice. Let's keep on going. One that we looked at last week that I joked around. I didn't actually take this, but I was mentioning the potential for a short setup down to this ice line below is Doge. However, Doge really did not play nice. Obviously, everything's still pumping, so it ripped up. But the interesting thing is you can see here, we are capping out very much so at this 0.0887 level. And that was that wick high back from February or end of January 21. So strong resistance level. You flip that, I think you're definitely good for higher prices. However, I'm still leaning with a bearish bias on Doge. I think there are much better alts to be looking to trade instead, solely because I like this harmonic. Again, this could totally get validated once you get above C, or maybe C's higher up, and this would be your like 786. That's kind of deep. So realistically, if you get above C, I'm gonna squash this idea, but otherwise I do like it if we do get another major leg down in the coming weeks or months. I do think the bottom may not be in. It could be in. Who knows? I simply just trade the charts and analyze what is shown to me. But yeah, that short got wrecked, unfortunately. But I think from here, unless we were really getting some strong price action to push higher, there's much greener grass in other assets. Like, no reason to touch Doge. Go to Atom. This thing's ready to go. Link. All right, so we were looking at Link last time, and one thing I liked was this. Again, like, these are all potential harmonics until you get the pattern completion zone at D. So in this case with Link, we were coming down and then we just rallied hard. So this kind of squashed that idea for me. And I'm not really like looking to jump into anything on it. It is ranging really nicely. It's been in this range since like May of this last year, so almost a full year. It kind of reminds me of the ETH to BTC chart, if you've ever traded on or looked at that. We'll take a look at it after we run through the crypto. But yeah, I would expect a push back up to ultimately just like the EQ of this range. You are above the POC, so maybe, yeah, EQ has the value area high, so you're playing it as a failed auction back up. So that's what I would be looking out for. Matic, I don't think we're going to get this so much now, or maybe it's going to take a while to resolve. because we did have that high time frame pullback that we talked about last time. We hit the 886. It'll be interesting. I think, yeah, the 618 I think will be a good draw if we are going to get more legs up on like crypto. But ultimately, if this were to come down to finish this shark harmonic, we would want to see it at the 886 or technically the 1.13, but that would be, or 1.3, or no 1.13. That would be like here. I don't think you're gonna see that, but near another one we looked at last stream. Well, we look at all these every stream. This is just the watch list I follow. If anybody has any requests, I'm happy to take a look at cryptos as well, or other assets too. We hit the PCZ of this butterfly harmonic, and we've been rallying. So flip X, and I think this will hold well. And I think ultimately from there, you can kind of play this as like a big range with like X being your bottom, A being your high, and this just all being one big deviation. So kind of like a massive inverse head and shoulders type of play. So that's near. Sol is pushing up slowly but steadily. A specimen butterfly harmonic, so we are getting closer to TP1 at about $30 pretty much. And it does look like another kind of 3 drives pattern, so maybe you get a 3rd drive, then you come back down, fill some inefficiencies, and then you get through your rest of your run up. But that's what I will be waiting for. And then lastly, Sushi, kind of same boat as Link, just been ranging insufferably, slowly pushing back up to that EQ, though we did hit it a couple days ago. So not much to see there. I do want to take a look at, what is it? Is it Apt? I think that's the one everybody's been trading lately. Let me check. Yeah, I'll take a look at this because I think this is really interesting. I've seen so many charts. Anch has posted a bunch of them. So I want to just kind of share my thoughts on this. Yo, Film Ninja, what's good, bro? So with this, ultimately, if we're looking like high to low, we do our whole look at this, dude. This is like fib levels and like harmonics. Like, I know some people are like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But like, dude, come on. You can't make that up. Like, gets respected so well. So next level, I think, is basically 2175, but we might get like one of those like blow off top style ones where you get like a massive wick up to like $28 to $33 and then it absolutely nukes. So if like you're a spot holder or if you're looking to like trade this, I'd be, again, first off, one, be very careful. I'm gonna add this to the watch list too, just so it's there for later next time. Did 2 low scalps? Yeah, I've heard it's like very, very just crazy. But yeah, 2175 or even like 21. Like I'd probably front run this a little bit, but so like 2149 or 2145 would probably be where I'm getting out. And then maybe set bids for like 28 and then like scam bids for 30, 33. But ultimately we want to just see here. I wouldn't want to see it come back down too much. You may get some selling off if BTC pulls back, but if BTC is going to keep ripping here, this thing's just going to keep going. So since it's nothing but air above, you just got to play the fib expansions. So 2618 would be your next one. All right. So if you trade this, these are the levels to watch. Be aware. And we'll quick look at total too. On the we'll do it on the weekly. Oh, I mean, there's... Oh, wow. This is... What a beaut. The 20... 17 high has become support for the total crypto market cap. So what I think could happen is you get a push up here, and then maybe even you come up here, take some of this liquidity, and then we come back down, and then you get like one final like over under, and then you rip, and then we just go full bull again. So that's my hypothesis. I'd be very surprised if this was it. Like, this feels too easy for it to be the bottom, but I could totally be wrong. So we'll quick jump on over to some Forex, or actually ETH BTC, and then we'll look at Forex, though there really isn't much to look at on ETH BTC. Just this endless range as well, similar to other stuff we've been looking at. Retested the POC. ETH is obviously cooling off a bit. Probably range and chop for X amount of days. But ultimately what I'd love to see is kind of like a push up. Because originally I wanted to see a partial decline here and get that wave up. And you got up here in beginning of January and then it just kind of fell off. So not too sure what's going to happen next on that one. But if we go over to some Forex, Euro looks pretty fantastic, not gonna lie. I have some local targets. So that would be the first one I'm looking at. That would be your buy side liquidity. It's right above it. Not sure if we get it today or maybe during London session in like 10 hours or so. I forget how long it is. What is it? 7 p.m. New York time. So that's 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours. But yeah, low time frame price action. I saw what's his face? Joker posted a really nice chart. I'm using I need the OB one. Yeah, Tyler taught me a trick where you can basically take rectangle tools and get the inside line, or get like basically like an EQ by using the straight line tool. So it was a perfect retest on the H1 of this the EQ of the order block, and then it bounced. So price action is definitely like delivering to the upside. You are testing this local buy side liquidity now. Filecoin, yeah, we'll take a look after. Yeah, Film Ninja, I didn't really go too deep into BTC, just kind of like, we could do this or that, but yeah, no, I'm paying attention to this. The key thing I'm looking at on BTC is a breaker. After I run through Euro and Pound, we'll take a look at Filecoin, Thor. But yeah, this local buy side liquidity is acting as resistance right now. I think you could probably get like a pullback, fill this inefficiency. This one tapped into there, so I really wouldn't. I would want to just see it kind of keep grinding up. Maybe range here for a bit, and then from there, with the news tomorrow, we get a push up to buy side liquidity. But I'll most likely just be waiting for the resolution of the news. I really don't trade stuff like that unless it's like a sure, like unless it's like low impact. But tomorrow's kind of sus, so we'll see what we get. This could be a really clean setup, but this will be your draw in my opinion. So that's what I would be looking for. It's only like 100 ticks away or whatever, so not too far or out of reach. But I absolutely, I was kicking myself this morning. I played this beautifully and I absolutely waffled it. So I woke up and I was on the train to work and I was just scanning some charts, and I saw this and I was like, okay, kind of looks like some consolidation. You got your, what's it called? Your distribution. Yeah, like your distribution. And then this is all just kind of like, ugh. But, and then I saw Joker post something about like sections like this, like a market maker buy model. And I was like, okay, like we can talk. And by the time I got to work, it was around like 6:45. I think, yeah, like here, I noticed that the lows, it was relatively equal lows. However, GU had taken the lows, so you had the SMT there, and you had the market structure break like right here, and then you had the FVG here, and I entered there, and I gave myself some room with the stop, like below, like a bit below, just in case we did come down to sweep it. But what happened was I was targeting it, this buy side liquidity for 4R, and when it ripped here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move my stop to break even. Like, I don't want it to come down and take me out. And I had it like just above break even, and I think it literally almost. I think my stop was at 46. It ticked me by two pips. Crazy, very unfortunate, and I was quite upset. So that kind of killed my vibe for the day. I stopped trading. But it played out beautifully. Like, it was a really nice read, really good analysis, just bad execution on my part. I'm just kind of bouncing through, looking for a different vibe. Yeah, that's all right. So that was a bit upsetting. Pound, what I was looking at before, and it looks like it's playing out. I was having just a chat with some people in Chroma about it. Was we had this really clean. Oh wow! Oh man, this looks so nice now. In hindsight, I was looking at it on low time frame. We had this beautiful little like kind of PO3. You have your accumulation, manipulation down into this daily imbalance, and then today we ripped up. So now you're expanding up. If we're looking at high time frame targets, I think GU has like your local relatively equal highs. We technically swept it here, but it can definitely push higher. But up here, what I like on, I think it's like H4 or yeah, even on daily, like you have these two highs, relatively equal highs. I think that's a big draw. And that's quite a bit away. That's at like 1.26. So that's what I'd be looking at. And then even higher time frame wise, we tapped into a monthly imbalance below, and then from there we hold on, sorry, I'm like trying to just go through everything. Yeah, we tapped into here. I think we hit the EQ or very close, got sucked back up. So I think, yeah, buy side liquidity here, this monthly imbalance definitely, I don't know about this month, but in the coming week or two, draw is up. So I'm very bullish on pound and euro and Bitcoin and everything for the most part. We just got to look at euro to the pound, and then we'll go to what's it called, Filecoin. Thank you for being patient. So with this is this potential Gartley harmonic that I'm looking at. I had it plotted for quite some time. Last stream, I had talked about like what I would do like in terms of a short setup. So I threw this on. It's not something I'm actually in, but this is like how I would have sized it up, and so far it would be in profit. So ultimately what I'd be looking for here is a move down to, I don't know if it was on 3-day or something. It might have been 12-hour, but there was some sort of yeah, it was 12-hour. There was just a big imbalance there. So that is what I think will be a draw. So I think pound is going to be the good long if you're looking to long either euro or pound. I think pound is the better one to look to long in the coming week or so. All right, so just keep that in mind. But otherwise, let's take a look at that request. We'll look at indices, and then we will wrap things up. All right, so Filecoin. All right, so I have a blank chart, nice and fresh. Man. I mean, these are the ones that can definitely like rip, but oh, dude, this is pretty bad because like since inception or like on the futures chart, I'm sure if I go to like, I think Coinbase probably has the most data on it. Give me one sec. I used to do my charts in black, like I said, black background instead of a white. So my charts were different color. Oh man. It's like an old harmonic from way back when. But yeah, oh yeah, so inception, I mean, get get back above like $6.69, and maybe you have a chance to like make some moves. I think ultimately that would be the draw, like where it's going to be heading if the market's moving up. So I think like the buy side liquidity here would be a good target. You also have what looks to be a pretty clean imbalance like in this pocket. So yeah, those would be like my targets. Either like short-term local buy-side liquidity, you have the imbalance here, you have this buy-side liquidity, but ultimately I wouldn't be looking, like I would be out fully by like 660, because at that point you're just longing into resistance. You can see in the past, like we tested as support, came down, wrecked, came back up, retested it and rejected, almost tested it, rejected. So yeah, not the best asset to be trading, in my opinion. I think there's better cryptos out there. If you're balls deep with a bag, just like, I don't know what you got in at or how much you'd want to lose, but 660 is definitely going to be, or 669 is definitely going to be a tough level to get through, so I would be waiting for that. If you get and hold that though, 1076 would be the next level of interest for me. Yeah, you can see how historically, oops, I think that was it. Or maybe not even 1076, probably. Yeah, like around there, like $11 or this high pretty much. So if you get there, it's probably going to suck up. And then from there, if you can get above that, then you're looking good for higher prices, because then it's pretty much like straight up, straight down. But yeah, first get above 669 and then you can talk. We'll quick look at ES. I don't have too much to say because it was more of a day trade today. Or, well, I didn't trade it, but I just did some analysis on it. It was a beautiful price delivery. We had this upon New York Kill Zone open. You had the 7 a.m. Then you had this buy side liquidity here. So this was like your original consolidation. I did a post on Twitter if you go to check it out, or maybe I'll quick pull it up actually. My chinchillas, but yeah, here's the post. You had this really clean like original consolidation. You can't see the whole thing, but redistribution came down. You had your smart money reversal at the daily FEGEQ after taking the melon day low, which was also sell side liquidity. You had a little M1 basically, like broke the structure, swept the low, broke the high, went up, retested the FEG, went up again, tested this fair value gap, broke through. This became your breaker, which was support, tested it there, and then from there chopped a bit, and then you got a nice little M1 to just send you M1 just to send you up to the buy side liquidity, all the way up. Unfortunately I can't show it because it's stuck, but if you go on my Twitter you can see it. So yeah, indices, where do I think we're heading next? I mean, I originally had like a high time frame Gartley harmonic I was looking at, but now I'm kind of having different opinions on that. So I think locally, like 40-50 from a couple days ago is pretty interesting. Like your local, there's like internal buy side liquidity, but that's the real one, 40-58. I finally bought the data, but ultimately I think you have relatively equal highs at 42K or 4,200, but you also have 40.89. So you have like a few levels of buy side liquidity to take out before you get that sort of push up. So we'll see what the news brings tomorrow and Friday, but I'm bullish going into this week and next week until Dixie shows something different. At this point, it just keeps bleeding out. This harmonic that I had plotted is it's pretty much invalidated. I do think there is a potential for some relief, but I also wouldn't be surprised just to see it nuke. You have local sell side liquidity, it keeps slowly going down towards. You have the monthly fair value gap there. So I think wait for that. You might get heavy selling down into, and then probably late February, early March, maybe we get like a little run up and things sell off a little bit. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But hopefully this was insightful. Again, BTC is probably going to do some chop for a little bit, get some action on the news tomorrow. So I would just be playing at level to level for now. We're looking at just quickly scanning some stuff. Everything's down a little bit. Algo actually pulled back. It's retesting the range highs. So yeah, not much is up on the day on crypto right now. Just APT just aping up. So trade carefully. We're gonna wrap it up there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for coming in, checking out the charts, and I hope to see you again next week. Peace.